Hi, Richard.
I, mm, within a second, use my screen.
Well, I asked you this the other day. Are you still trading manually? Do you still look for trades manually, apart from the assistant?
Now I've been focusing on the assistant entirely for the last couple of weeks. Um,
Right. How are
I'm
you
going.
finding it compared to your normal trades?
Um, it's a lot easier in that you know things like you don't have to draw the trend lines, and it gets you into a trade. Whilst if I was trading manually, I'd still be thinking about it, and it got me into quite a few trades quite early. So it
Is it
has,
getting you into trades that you wouldn't normally get in? Are you finding that?
yeah, yeah. Um, I'm finding that if I was trading manual, I'd still be trying to work out whether it was a decent trade to get into or not. And yet this assistant just automatically gets you in. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. So I'm planning today to start from scratch. I've got an up-to-date version of the training assistant from Oliver. There's not a lot different on it, but it draws the trend lines, and well, hopefully they should finish at the end of the morning session and start again at the beginning of the afternoon session. So I'm gonna try downloading that for the benefit of well, I'm going to use this as a video on YouTube, sort of for absolute beginners. So if I share my screen, bear with me if it takes me a little bit of time, but no,
Are you all right?
just bear with me 1 second. I'm not be too long. Let me go to master plan affiliates and try again. So I'm going to try sharing my screen. I want you to be able to see the Facebook page for master plan affiliates. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the process of downloading because this is my messenger. It's a crossfire test that messenger that we've been using, and this
Okay.
arrived yesterday afternoon. So
Okay.
this is the process that I would go through. So I've cleared my chart, so you'll be able to see exactly how to load up the assistant and what problems I get whilst I'm doing that. So I'm going to click on this panel here, SFF Crossfire EA.
You're just going to go through the settings for this.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to go through how you load it up in the first place, and then how you get your settings.
What
Uh,
about, when I was on about the MT5,
yeah,
is there anything on there to say, because your screen looks totally different than what it used to do as well. So is there anything on there to say what settings you've got on that as well?
right. So as far as MT5 is concerned, I put this into. I put this. Can you see this MetaTrader 5 tutorial?
All right, yeah.
That's a YouTube video. It's a really good YouTube video, and it goes through from A to Z, and it's for beginners, and it's got timestamps beneath the video, so it tells you because it's quite a long video, and it'll tell you what it's like chapters in the book. It tells you the chapter titles and so on. It's a great video. It's well worth a couple of watches, and
Right.
that'll answer a lot of your questions. But I'll try and answer as many as I can on this. As I say, I'm recording this. I'm going to put it on YouTube as a sort of basic introduction. So I'm going to click on this panel here, SFF EA 104 is the very latest version. So I'm going to click on that, see what happens. Now on my,
Where do I actually get that from? Where can I get that from?
I can send it to you. Um,
Okay.
But I'll make a note
Okay.
and send that to you, and I'll also I need to send you the water atta equivalent as well. You need the two of them, and I'm going to explain that in this session.
Okay. Can you send me the link to the MetaTrader 5 tutorial as well, if that's okay?
If you go to Master Plan Affiliates on
Right.
Facebook, it's sort of, that's the post that I just put on just now. That's Paul's post. It's the third one down.
Right. Okay.
If you click on that, because it's got a little eye there, it's telling
Yeah.
you that if you click on that that section there, it'll take you straight through to YouTube, and you'll be able to start watching the video.
Right. Okay.
So I've clicked on this, and can you see what happened? I got this. Well, every computer is different, but you'll have something similar to downloads, and it's saying, what do you want to do with SFF Crossfire EA? And it'll be 1.04. And it says, you want to open it, you want to save it as something, or you can just click on this arrow and it'll say, do you want to save it? So if I save it, if I just click on save, it'll save it exactly as it was sent to me. I just want to make the point now. Grace is just coming on. Grace, hi. You haven't missed anything. I'm just going to go back over what we've done so far. I put this. I think you've already said thank you for that. So you're aware of that tutorial. So that's the basic setup for MetaTrader 5. I've just down. If you can see on my screen, I just need to move. This is my messenger. I got this up-to-date version from Oliver yesterday evening. So basically all I've done is I've clicked on that, and it's given me it's saying, what do you want to do with SFF Crossfire EA? And it will, if you read it all, it'll be 1.04. And I'm just literally just going to save it. But before I do, the other bit that you need to download is the water atta WAE, and you need to treat that slightly differently. So when we come to doing that, you need to click on Save As, and you need to take the don't know why that appeared, but oh yeah, I don't worry about that. So you need to take the numbers off that come after the WAE. You just need to get rid of the numbers and save it as WAE, or it'll be SFF WAE, and that's what you need to save. So I'm just going to save this one, and it'll take a second. No, it's done. So that's what I'm looking for. SFF Crossfire EA 104X5. So I can close that now, and I can go to where do I need to go to? If I go to stop sharing, you have to bear with me because it's a long time since I've done this kind of video. So I'm looking for something new to share, and I'm looking at downloads. So if you look, this is on your computer. This is on a Windows laptop. You've got this little file thing down at the bottom. You can see where my cursor is. I've clicked on that, and I'm noticing that today I've got one item downloaded, and that's the one that I'm looking for. It's SFF Crossfire EA 1.04. I got it yesterday. Well, actually, I downloaded it today, and it's an MQL5 program. What I do, there are other ways of doing this. This is just one way. What I do is I click on that so that it highlights it, and then I go here and I copy it. So I click on copy, and that's now on my clipboard. So I can change what I'm sharing now. I'm going to go back to my chart. So this is my chart. You saw yesterday I had 4 charts side by side. I can look at those 4 if I go to window and cascade. So if I go to window and tile windows. So that's how my charts are set up, but I'm just going to focus on one for now. So I'm going to take that. Okay, so I'm just looking at one chart, and I'm going to try and load the trading assistant onto this one chart. So what I need to do is I go to File up at the top there, click on that, and I want to open the data folder. So if I click on that, you will see in a second. Now, I'm assuming you can't see that what I've got on my screen now, so I'm going to go back and stop share. I'm going to share this new. So there we go. Now you should be able to see if that's it. It's just telling me that you can see it, but I cannot see it now. Where's it gone? Try that again. But I'll say you'll have to bear with me because I haven't done this kind of a video before, and I'm just learning as I'm going along. So I'm trying to show you my data folder, and you should be able to see it. It's on top of my normal screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got that. Now, if I what am I trying to do? If I click anywhere down here on the white space at the bottom, if I click on there, sorry, I need to bear with me 1 second. Click on view. Okay, so I've clicked on, I'll just go back and do that again. So I'm on the main chart. I want the navigator window. So I'm looking on view at the top there and clicking on that. I need to click on navigator, and it shows me, well, that's my FDMO free trial. That's the account number. I'm interested in these expert advisors. So if I click on that and then click on refresh, no, it won't do that yet because I've still got to transfer it to my data folder. So if I open data folder, taking its time. There we go, open data folder. And I'm trying to get that item off my clipboard. Just bear with me 1 second. So if I click refresh, no, that's not working. Let me try something different.
It looks like it's frozen from here, Richard, I think.
Is it? Okay. I'll come back to you in a second. All right. Telling me to move that away from the shared screen. Okay, got you. I did say you'd have to bear with me.
Yeah.
Yes, screen sharing is paused. Okay, so try again. I'm going to go back to my downloads. Share screen. Okay. Then I'm going to highlight that. I'm just starting afresh. For some reason, the computer is really, really slow. Right, okay. And it's doing its own thing at the minute. Bear with me. If I go to copy it and then go back, stop share, share a new one. So, when I was going to data folder and I was trying to put it into the data folder, it's actually done it because this is Crossfire EA 104. So basically what I was trying to do was open the data folder and then click on that white space in the data folder. And then I would come here and refresh this expert advisors. It's done what I was asking it to do, but it's taken its time. So I don't need to do it again. I think I probably can do it again if we get a chance. So
When you post it into the data, when you post it into the data file and you go into MT5 and update the expert advisors, does that update it automatically then?
What I was looking for was, can you see down the bottom there? It says refresh.
Yeah.
But when I put it into the data folder and then came back here, I wanted to refresh these expert advisors, and I did that, but nothing happened. But it happened
Right.
in the way.
You don't need to do anything from the data folder to update it in MT5 expert advisors, and there's not another file you need to put it in there. Just right click and post it and paste it. Is that right?
Yeah. So long as I say, there's several ways of doing it. What I used to do, or what I've always done, is I've taken it to the MQL5 folder, and then I've
Right.
opened it and I've put it into the experts. But this has worked differently. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll delete that. I'll delete it, and I'm going to start again because this is quite important. So I'm going to go back to sharing my. I'll stop sharing that. Get a new share. I've got downloads there. I'm going to share those. You should be able to see them. Right. So this is the one I'm interested in. SFF Crossfire EA 1.04. That's the one I've just downloaded today. So if I click on that and copy it, and then I can get out of that screen and I can go to File, Open Data Folder. Oh, sorry, are you now seeing my chart?
Not yet.
No, okay.
Still in still in the download file. Oh,
yeah.
it's in the download file.
That's the bit I missed out. I need to share my FTMO demo. And you should now be able to see my chart.
Yeah.
Okay, so this SFF Crossfire is the version that I used yesterday, I'm trying to use the 1.04. So I need to open the data folder. And then I need to show you that data folder. It won't open it. Why won't it open it? Maybe because I'm already open. Okay, now I can see the data folder, but I believe that you can't.
No, we can't.
I'm going to go back to Zoom and I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to share again. That's what I want to share. We'll get there in the end. Right, can you now see? There's a little panel.
Yeah, I can see that.
If I tap on that, why isn't it letting me do that? Just bear with me 1 second. I've lost it again.
Look, that's what I find to be the hardest. I've done deleted and put them back on, and I just now was able. I stuck mine in I don't know what I did. I had it in the wrong thing.
I think if I put it, I'm going to try putting it in there. I've never had a problem with this when I've been doing it, when I've not been doing the Zoom. I don't know what's going on.
I have that problem all the time, so I'm kind of excited. Yes, I mean, I didn't mean that to sound mean, but it's nice to see that I'm not the only one having trouble.
Yes, and I think once we overcome this, we've sort of cracked it. So if I stop sharing screen, I'm going to try again. I don't have this problem when I'm not doing the Zoom. It's fairly easy, but that's not to say it's easy for everyone. Right. So I'm assuming you can see my chart with that white panel overlaid.
Yes.
What's not happening, which normally does happen, is if I click on the white space, let me try and make this bigger. Normally, if I click on there, it transfers the file that I've just put on my clipboard, and it puts it down here. And then
see, mine is always in MQL5. I have to click on that to find it for some reason. I don't know why. See, well, that's where mine end up.
Okay, well that's slightly different to what normally happens. So it is in MQL5. What I would do is I would then transfer it from where it is up into experts. I'm going to try that, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to go back and see if it's already there. It probably already is there. I'm going to click on that, but it's a bit darker than it was. Then I'm going to try. I think this is my computer, there we go. This is my computer not working as fast as it should. So I'm transferring it from on the bottom of the list, and I've moved it to experts. Now, when I go back, I'll stop sharing, go back to my screen. That's my screen. Yeah, it's down to my computer not actually working quickly enough. So if I now go to expert advisors and I right click on that one and then click refresh, there you go. So it was a little bit stilted, but you should be able to go back and look at the video But basically what I've done is I've transferred it from Facebook Messenger. I've downloaded it. I've taken a copy from the download file and I've put it into the data folder, and I've moved it first of all into MVQL, whatever,
MQL5.
MQL5,
Yeah.
and then I've transferred it into the expert file. So I've now got Crossfire EA 104. I'll if I have time, I'll go back over that, and if not, I'll put it in a video. What I need to do now is this chart has got nothing on it apart from the indicators. If you're loading it for the first time, it won't have the indicators on, but I'm just going to transfer that across. I'm dragging that across and I'm going to put it on, and that is my Crossfire 104. I've never seen this. I kept it until this session so that I could load it in front of you. So the first thing I look for is allow algo trading. Can you see that, by the way? Can you see the white panel?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So under common, it says allow algo trading. That's very important, because if you don't check that, nothing else will work. If you then go on to inputs, you've got a set. It's not necessarily my set, or actually that one looks like the one I was using yesterday. So I'm going to go through those settings and point out the changes that I've made. But before I do that, I'm going to come out of that. And the other thing that you need to transfer, you need to drag, oh, there we go. We've now got it. So because I already had SFFWAE loaded, it's automatically loaded it for me. I'm just going to, right. So there's a couple of things I need to point out. I'm just going to get rid of that panel there. No, I'm going to get rid of that panel. And get rid of navigator. Okay, so you can now see what happened at 1 o'clock. This is, it actually says, get the timing from, just bear with me 1 second. This white vertical line should have occurred at 1 o'clock. It should have occurred, I don't know what's going on, but maybe because I wasn't on the chart at the time, but the first white line you see denotes the 1 o'clock candle. That's 1 o'clock UK time. And the second line, the green line, is the 1:15. So that period in between is equivalent to the what used to be the 15-minute candle that I used to take my trend lines from. I don't know why it's shifted it. I don't know whether it's because I wasn't watching it at the time, but we'll find out. We'll find out. At least we got the two lines. Hang on a sec. Why is that? That was a white line previously. Probably Oliver's changed something. But we would have a vertical line at 1, we would have a vertical line at 1:15. And then this line, I'm assuming, is the news, because we've got news in 1 minute. That says 15:30. It actually means 13:30. At the bottom of my screen, it's 13:29. Now, the timing is probably an issue for some of you. I know Tommy was saying yesterday he was very confused with the times, and different brokers will show different times. So my 1 o'clock line, when I look down at the bottom, oh, there we go, it's actually saying 1500. So that's correct. It's saying, I'm reading that as 1 o'clock, but it's actually saying 1500. So my broker is actually 2 hours ahead of me. So I always look at the clock in the bottom. We need to look at the timing. particularly for anyone like you, Grace, or Tommy, who's in the States. We need to sort that out. But for now, 1 o'clock, 1:15, and then this line is news, and I've got mine set not to trade 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after news. Now, the other thing that you can see there, it says no trading because of news and no trading because spread is high. So we'll look through my settings. There we go. Oh, well, it wasn't supposed to get me in. Or is that? Bear with me 1 second. No, that trade that just got me in was the other trading assistant. So I've got that on a different broker, and I haven't got any news. I didn't set the news, so it's actually got me into a trade, and actually got me out again. It went up there and it just touched the take profit line, and then it came back down again. So I'm now in drawdown on that one, but let's ignore that for now. Yeah, I'll ignore that. Important that we get through this one. Right, so before I go any further, if you've got the WAE, which is this panel underneath, you must check to see that you've got some actual numbers here. If it's not working, if it's not connected properly, you'll find that all these are all zeros. It might well say no trade, but if everything's zero, including the color, then it's not going to get you to any trades. So you need to make sure you've got the algo trading on, and you need to make sure you've got some numbers in this panel here. Let me just go through, I'll go through my settings on my expert list and try and talk you through those. This is, for some reason, it's automatically put my yesterday's settings on. It's claiming to be 1.04, which is correct. But I thought I would have to go through and I'm going to have to go through and double check all of these. So basically, risk the percent for lot calculation. So basically, if I'm trading 4 pairs all at the same time, I want to make a maximum loss of 1%. Sorry, per trade, I want to lose 0.25%. I'm being really cautious, and I'm only risking 0.25% per trade because I'm trading 4 pairs. Lump them all together in one basket, which I'll mention later, then I've got a total risk of 1%. Risk to reward ratio is 2. So for every 1% I risk, I'm standing to gain 2%. So that's correct. Entry loss is correct. 3 pips stop loss is correct. 6 pips take profit is correct. The magic number you need, all 4 pairs in the afternoon session need to have the same magic number on. And 18 is going to be too far to the right. I'm going to move my chart slightly to the left. I normally had set mine at 35. I want to get alerts, so that's true. If you double click on that, you change it to false. If you double click back, it changes to true. I want spread protection. So basically, this is to you telling the assistant how many pips in spread you prefer to tolerate. Now, I generally go down to 2, because if you go up to 3 pips spread, it sort of wipes out a lot of your potential profit. So basically, I'm telling the trading assistant, if the spread on this pair is more than 2 pips, then don't bother getting me in, because I'm not interested. The daily loss protection, if you want to have a maximum of 2% loss, so here we're talking about the global basket. So if this is on true, so I've just changed that to true, because what I want when I'm looking at 4 pairs is I want the combined loss for the 4 pairs to be a maximum of 2% of what the balance is. And I want my well, I'm quite happy for my percent of profit to be as high as 6. You could reduce that down to 4, but there's probably not a lot of point. Partial close settings I haven't touched at all. I'm going to experiment with them, because basically it's a bit like having a trailing stop loss, and that is a good idea. Sometimes price will go very close to your target and then turn around, and you end up losing everything. And this will be a good way of avoiding that. The new settings, I want to avoid any red flag news. So if you double click on there, you get a drop down menu, and I put mine on high. So I don't want it to keep me out of trades if it's low or medium impact, but I do want it to keep me out of trades for 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after the news. Just moving down a little bit further. These are crossfire properties. These are not on the other trading assistant. So I haven't done anything with those 2. What I have done with this one, this is there's 60 bars per hour, and Oliver's set the default to 120. So that's 120 minutes, 121 minute candles, and then it will stop looking. I want that to be 180, because probably in the last 12 months or so, there have been trades after the 3 o'clock deadline, if you like. We used to trade between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. If I'm trading manually, I trade until 4 o'clock these days, because there's, as I say, there's quite often a trading opportunity just after 3 o'clock or maybe 3:30. You've got the red, the green lines, the trade time settings I haven't altered. I'm working on European summertime, but if you double click on that, you get a drop down menu that gives you the option of USA summertime. I don't think that solves the problem that Tommy was having with confusing times being displayed. Whilst I'm talking about the times, I've just mentioned that I want my trading assistant to look for trades for 180 minutes, so that's 3 hours. But if you can see down here, my chart's a bit squashed up, but it's saying that it's going to start looking for trades at 1300 and stop looking for trades at 1500. Well, that is not true, because I've just altered it, and it will go from 1300 to 1600. Same with the 6 a.m. That will actually look for trades up to 9 a.m. So I haven't altered the Heikin-Ashi settings other than exit on smooth Heikin-Ashi. If you double click on that, you get a drop-down menu. You've got the options of either exiting when it goes to take profit, or exiting on the Heiken-Ashi change, and I prefer that one. So I'm exiting on Heiken-Ashi change. I will try and explain that a bit further. I haven't altered the Heiken-Ashi settings, they're still on 38. I haven't altered anything, look back. The FVG, they apply exclusively to pause system. So I've got mine on false, but I found that you also need to put those on these two on 0. Otherwise, you'll still get the FGA on your chart. So I'm keeping false, and I'm reducing those two to 0. And we're not far off there. So HMA, that's the whole moving average. That doesn't apply to Crossfire. You can have the whole moving average on the indicators, but the trading assistant completely ignores the whole moving average. So you can leave that as it is and take off the indicator. I'll look at the indicator in a minute. MA crossover. I've been experimenting and I've been changing these to true. And I've got my moving averages set to 13, 62, and 200, exactly as I did on the manual trading. So I'm looking for the moving average crossover in exactly the same way as I was before. Entry filter, true. I haven't changed anything down there. So what I need to do is once I've changed all my settings to where I want them, I click on save, and you need to change this. You need to. Yesterday I was working on Crossfire default, which I set up on the 7th of the 8th. I need to set up a new set because we've just got this new. So what I need to say is Crossfire. What's the date today? The 13th of the 8th, 1308, or that would be 0813 in the States. And I'm going to put PM on this because I may have a different lot of settings for the morning session. So I'll have one lot of settings for the afternoon session, one lot for the morning. That just means I don't have to go back through all of what I've just done every time I load onto a different chart. I'm going to go back to OK, and you can see I've forgotten to mention these trend lines. These are the trend lines that are supposed to be the trend lines that I would normally put on. This one looks exactly as I would do it because that's the highest point during that 15-minute candle. So I would come along at the end of that candle and I would say, I would look left for the nearest high, and it's actually gone to the nearest high. Looking at the bottom, in that time span there, the lowest point was the bottom of that candle, the bottom of that wick there. So I would look left and I would look for the nearest lower. And this is something I'm going to have to ask Oliver to change. I think I might have asked him, but I'll need to ask him again. If you look left from that point, there is a lower candle. That one, I believe, is lower. Or is it? But anyway, we're nearly there. We're nearly exactly as I would put him on trade. In previous days, Oliver would have taken the line down right down to the lowest low. But I don't look for the lowest low. I look for the nearest low. So I would put my cursor at the bottom of that with there, and I would look left, and that one's definitely lower. That one's definitely lower. So I'd be looking at a choice between those two, and that would alter the angle of the trend lines. So where are we now? If I right, okay. So I'm basically we're going to go through how the trading assistant thinks, if you like, because it's actually supposed to follow my thought process. So basically, I'm looking. Number one, I'm asking: is price above the green trend line, or is it the red above, below the red trend line? Well, obviously it's above the green. So now I'm starting to look for buys. So then I start looking at the Heikin-Ashi. Now we were in a downward mode. We got red Heikin-Ashis. At this point here, somewhere there, we got into an upward mode. So that is the equivalent of our wave up or wave down on the if we were working on the trading view chart. So that is then saying price is above the green trend line, and we've got a recent wave up. Now, next thing I'm looking at is how are the moving averages doing? Well, the 13 is above the 62, is above the 200. You can check the values of the moving averages by hovering your cursor. So that's the 200 moving average. What's happening? Computer is just not behaving. That's the 62, and that one is the 13. So we've got the correct moving averages. What I'm not sure about is why it didn't get me into a trade here, because this was the water atta was above the blue line. I'm going to change that. I'm going to make that white, and the orange line I'm going to make that bolder. But that was telling me that I was safe to get in. So I don't know why it didn't get me in. But that's probably because I'm just messing about. So I'm going to go back to the indicator list. There's something quite important here. If you've got it set up correctly, and these numbers, these have got values rather than zeros, your indicator panel should look something like this. So how are we doing for time? Right, we've got time to go through these. So if I click on show pips, and so if I double click on show pips, it's asking me, I can have it in the left upper chart corner, but if I click on it, it'll give me, I can have the right lower, right upper, left lower. So you've got the option. I think when you get it out of the box, it puts it on the right upper, but I've chosen to have it in the left upper. I don't want to know about profit or profit percentages, but I do like to be able to see the spread, which is this number, and that's indicating 1.6, 1.7 pips. And then this is the countdown to the new next candle. And everything else is exactly as it came out the box. You can change the colors. No, yeah, no, that's right. I've got it. So inputs. So that's all to do with this panel here. Moving averages. I'm pretty sure I've got 13, and I've got mine yellow. This should be 62, and it's aqua. This should be 200, and it's white. So that's exactly what we said. Now the Heikin-Ashi smooth. This is a potential problem. Can you see I've got 3 versions of the smooth Heikin-Ashi? I only need one. And what tends to happen is when you load the trading assistant on a chart, or if you start your computer up and load everything up, it will give you more than one version. I only need one, and I need it to be 38. So I've got that one 38, therefore I don't need those. Now, the reason it's important is sometimes if you have more than one version of an indicator, it actually slows your computer down, so it won't get you into trades as quickly. Then if you've got the WAE loaded, which I have, you'll have this at the bottom. And if you double click that, it gives you some options. Let me just check that comment. There's nothing on common, but inputs. I haven't changed anything there. I'm going to change the colors, and I'm going to ask Oliver to change them by default. I think the best color for that line is white, and I think it needs to be thicker. And the orange one also needs to be bolder. So I'm going to put that on there, and then okay, and you should be able to see the difference. So this is the explosion line.
Hi, Richard. As long as you've got a black screen.
Have I?
I said, as long as you've got white lines, I've got a light screen, and I have to change it back to black, I think.
All right. Yes. As long yeah, I'm with you. Okay.
I mean, but most people have, so go with the majority. I think it's probably a better idea.
Well, I was actually thinking about reverting back to my old chart type, which is white. But anyway, the point is, if you're using a black background, you need a white, and if you're using a white one, you need a black or something.
Yeah, that's all right.
But as it was before, it was very difficult to see. So I'm still a bit stumped as to why it didn't get me in at that point, but that's not important for this session. What I wanted to do was go through all of the settings. Now, if I go back to the window and I want to tile the windows, why have I only got 3? Never mind. I'll live with that, because the point I'm trying to make is how easy it is to transfer this EA to these other 2 charts. You need to go back to the window and just let it recalibrate that. There we go. So I've got everything set up on this chart, and all I now need to do is drag this across. So if I click on that and drag it across, it'll automatically give me that's, well, I don't need to double check that. Well, I can see that it's not the one that I've just loaded. So I need to load up the one that I've just saved. So that was 1308. That's the one I need to load up. I put it on open and then okay. And that will now give me everything that I've got on there in time. It might, there we go. It sometimes takes a full minute for it to apply it, but it's done it a little bit quicker. So then I can do the same with this one.
Can you do a right? I don't know if it works. Can you do a right click on your first chart?
This one.
Yeah, just right click it, and there's there is a wherever it is. Apply all these settings to all charts. I don't know where it is again. It's not there.
Yeah, what you can.
You know, if you've got 2 different time frames and you want to just
your time frames. I'll tell you what I've done. When I was setting my charts up, you can change I think when they come out of the box, they all start on H1 1 hour. And if you go down to, so if I right click, if I go to templates, well, I can change it to 1 minute, and then I can change the color of the candles, etc. But then I can save a template. So what I've got here, I've got Crossfire morning and Crossfire. I'm getting confused there, but I've got more than one template. Actually, that also explains something I was thinking about before, so I'll come back and I'll change this. But you can change, so the template is for the color of the candles, and but what I'll do is I'll just right click on there. If you go back to, if you go down to properties, it allows you to change the colors of the background. It allows you to color the, you know, so I've got a white background, a white, sorry, a black background, a white foreground, but I can change that. I don't have the grid on, but I have the bar, the up bar is lime and I have the down bar is red. I have the bull candle, bear candle, line chart, the volumes. I don't show the volume, but I also don't show the grid. And I just put well, it's the bar up, bar down, bar, bull candle, bear candle, and I'm going to change one of them just to show. If I change one to aqua, it's using the outline. It's not changing the color of the body. It's changing the outline. And if I change the candle, so you can play around with that until you get it to look exactly as you want it, but then you can save it. So I've got to go back to red, crimson, pink, tomato, red. There we go. And if I put that one back to red, and just okay, and it'll just keep back. But you can alter, and that all of that is in that video that I shared yesterday in the master plan affiliates. If I want to add another chart, so because for some reason I seem to have got 3 charts instead of 4, I'm just going to try something here. Yeah, I'm still on 3 charts, so I really need to add a Euro US. Oh, I know why, because I had it on a, that was Euro US I was messing about with before. So what I can do is I can add another chart, create a new chart, Euro US. I can, if I right click on that, I can, you see I've got the 1 hour, so I can change the time frame to 1 minute. I can right click again, I can ask it to load a template, so I want it to Crossfire PM template. There you go, so it looks exactly like the others. Why hasn't it got my, I know why. I haven't got my water atta on. I need to pull the water atta across there. So I'm on Euro USD. It'll drag that across. I won't go through that again, but why hasn't it changed? All right, I've just noticed I've got a different, I've got the, I need to put that on. That's my new version. So that was the one I've just downloaded. It was working on that one. So I need to just load the right settings. 1308. Open. Okay. And it should now. There we go. So I'm now using the 104, which no one else has got, but I can send it to you after this session. It expires on the 1st of the 9th. I've got a blue hat, and here I've got 1, 2, 3. Where's the other one gone? Not to worry. Let's just go back to the window, file windows. So we've got 3 charts with everything set up, and the 4th one we don't. So I'll just go through it again. I'll make this one bigger. So I'm picking this up and I'm dragging it across, and it should give me, this isn't the setting that I want my settings, so I'll go to load. I click on 1308, open, okay, give it a second, there we go. So we've now got 4 windows, we've now got 4 blue hats, we've got the expert advisors working okay, and the indicators are working okay. So I've got the 4 windows, hopefully. And there we go, that's how we get up. Now, somebody, I'll just one very last thing to clear something up from yesterday. Somebody asked if it was possible to have the 4 crossfire pairs on your chart, on your screen, and to have Paul's trading assistant on 1 or 2 pairs as well. And I said, well, I don't do that. I use a different broker for crossfire and a different broker for Paul's trading assistant. But I've then thought about it, and no, it's obviously you can have it all on the same broker. And what you would need to do there is I would need to load the Paul's trading assistant in exactly the same way as I've loaded this. It will be down here, and if let's say I had 2 charts on Paul's system, I would just drag that across instead of dragging the crossfire EA across, and it would show you all 6. So that would mean being a bit slow on the uptake. I said it wasn't, but I said I didn't know if it was possible, but I'd found a way around it. There's one other thing I want to mention, and that is, when you see here, you've got in the top, this is why I've posted that video, because you can learn all of this from that MT5 video. So if you go to manage profiles and click on that, I've got a default profile, which is these 4 pairs, but I've got another profile, which is the morning pairs. And if I just take that back to what it was. Now I've taken the EA off the morning pairs because I'm going to load up this 104 onto there. But I've separated the morning from the afternoon by having them on a different profile. So you can manage the profiles. You can create a profile, or you can set up 4 charts on your screen, and then you can go to profile and save it as. Or if you're making alterations, you come back and you just save it. So that's one way of keeping your morning session separate from your afternoon session. If you want to put Paul's scalper on the same broker, you can definitely have more than 4 charts. You just need to download his well, I've already downloaded it, I'll show you. If I put my navigator on.
Richard, sorry, what was that last bit again about the profiles? Could you just
Yeah, I'll go back to that. So what I've got Definitive Markets as my broker, demo broker for Paul's charts, and I'm actually using, I think I'm using a slightly out of date one, but that's the one I'm using. So if I drag that across there, it will load it all up. In fact, it's already loaded up. That one expires on the 15th of the 8th, by the way, so you need to get a new download. So if I go back to now, if you click on view, you've got 2 of our status bar and charts bar. I've got standard. If you click on right, so you see that, oh no, it's there. Look, so I've got some additional functions appeared there. So if I go back to view and I want a chart bar, No, that's not right. Right, you've got toolbars. So I'll remove that line. So this appears when you click on standard toolbars. And I'll just try unchecking it, and yes, it's disappeared. So if you click on view, click on toolbars, click on standard, and you get you can create a new chart on that one, you can manage profiles on that one, you can find new symbols on that one. So if you're looking for a pair that's not on your, you see, we click on charts. If I click on new charts, it's only offering me those. And if I go down, I get a drop down menu. And if you're looking for a pair that's not available there, you've got to find you've got to find another pair by showing your symbol list. And you just have to, if I want to show GBP, GPY, I've got to click on that. And I want it to show the symbol. And
I think you can still, if you want a shortcut on the see the bottom where it says 13th of August.
yes,
In the bottom left chart.
yeah,
Double click on that 13th of August and a little box comes up. It does an NT4. On the bottom left GBP AUD chart, see when it says 13th of August?
oh yeah, right, got you.
Under there. If you double click that left hand corner,
All right, I probably, oh, there we go. There, yes,
I can't really see it on your,
yeah,
you can't really see your screen, but yeah.
I've got it a little bit squashed up there. There. I've got options down here as well, but that's exactly why I posted that video on.
I'll have a look at it. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I'll go back. I'll call it a day in a second. I need to stop sharing screen. I need to share a different screen. I'll go back there. Well, there we go. So that is, if you look at Master Plan affiliates, there's my post there, there's Paul's post there, and the next one is quite a detailed introduction, beginners for beginners, and you know it will tell you exactly how to set everything up. And I thought that would be useful. Otherwise, I might be going through that over and over again every session. So I think everybody needs to familiarize themselves with that, and let's get onto some decent trading. There's three of you on here. I'm going to send you the this Crossfire thing when I finish this session, and then you can start loading it. What you will need also, I'll send you this one as well. Going back a while. But it's there we go. So I need to send you SFFWAE. But Alice, I don't know if you were on at the beginning when I said there is a slight difference when you download them. If you download the normal Crossfire one, you just save it and do the normal. What I found is when you download the this one, WAE, it'll probably have some brackets and a number, and before you save it, you need to delete those brackets and the number, otherwise it won't work alongside your chart.
Okay, I'll check the recording as well. Yeah, I was out and I didn't get back in time to see the start of it. So yeah, that's fine. I'll check it.
We mentioned it right at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crucial that you get rid of the numbers and the brackets. Otherwise, for some reason, it doesn't work. Right. Okay. So, hope that's been useful, and I'm going to load this up, and I'll use it for tomorrow morning session. And I'm going to keep the previous one just in case. But I'm pretty sure that the new one is what we want. There's a couple of other things I need to change, like what was it? I made a note of it before. Anyway, I'll go back to Oliver and just get things tidied up. But anyway, thanks for jumping on. I'll be back again on Friday.
Yeah, cheers for that. I've got to head out now as well. Cheers.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.